coming back at you real live, one time on the ones and twos. It's your girl, Chandie Speaks. She's got a new microphone. You can hardly tell. You can hear me swallow. Can you hear it? You can barely hear the fan in the background. Okay, so like this is it. Okay. Wow. Okay. Maybe I sound kind of annoying. Like it's giving like Nanny Fran. The nanny named Fran. Oh, Mr. Sheffield. This, like, real talk, is the first time I actually have ever spoke on a microphone for a podcast. Anytime I've been on a microphone, I've been singing on a microphone. You know, karaoke and music recording, rapping, but I'm doing the talk show thing now with this super cool microphone. I'm back. A lot of crazy shit has happened this week. Are we getting right into it? Welcome back. So yeah, most likely what's gonna happen is, because time has just been getting away from me, I won't be uploading this beautiful sounding first ever podcast. Maybe it'll just be a day late, but yeah, if I do that, then it'll be a day late. Possibly, because I'm recording it from my laptop right now. I'm doing a video podcast for the first time ever. Basically, anyone who's been following me on, the levels right there, I gotta adjust those levels, right? Do I sound okay? I think I sound okay. These are some cheap ass headphones, but this microphone is really nice. Really nice. Forgot what the hell I was saying. Yeah, basically I'm recording this from my laptop right now because that's how I can get this super cool sounding microphone. I don't know how to get it on my phone yet, so the phone is recording me like in real time, and maybe that'll be the Spotify version. Maybe I'll actually like clean that up a little bit. But if I clean this up, what it's sounding like right here on the microphone, y'all can't hear it. I'm most likely not going to get to it. What would I need to do? I would need to somehow get it dropped over into my phone somehow, or find a way to have this beautiful microphone connected to my phone that can record through my phone. But my phone's got its own microphone. So whatever, semantics. What day is it? And in the event that, I don't even know if I'm going to upload this video, that I'm just so happen to be recording with it. I just don't have a voice recorder on my laptop. So, I know how to have the audio input and output, but I don't have device or a platform to record it on other than doing a video with it. So this is me on my laptop. This is a bed sheet. If I decide to, I don't know if I'm going to decide to put it up, but if you're watching, this is a bed sheet. These are my bed sheets. They're just like little constellations. Got it at Walmart, probably somewhere in Georgia, I think. I am in, I don't even know what county. Let me look it up. I don't really need to look up the county where I am right now, but I'm in Sedona, still in Sedona. How's my microphone? Is it too far away? Okay, I gotta get used to this thing. Okay. Also, the phone is probably most definitely picking up the fan, whereas this microphone probably isn't picking up so much of my ceiling fan right over me. I'm really liking how my voice sounds right here. Miss Radio Personality here. Miss Chandie Speaks coming back. Okay, let's get into it. Crazy fucking shit this week, because I was actually pretty devastated. I don't know if I'm speaking too loud or not. Can I hear myself? I think I'm going deaf in one ear. Hold on. These are some cheap ass headphones. Oh yeah, I can hear me now. Can you hear me now? I was kind of devastated at the beginning of the week. Let's just start it off with the beginning of the week, because right after I I'm laughing because I'm getting used to this microphone. Let me just get comfortable here, okay? I'm in my house. I live in my van. I'm out here. I'm just out here. Make sure my phone can hear me. Phone could probably hear me. This is going to be a weird one. This is going to be a weird podcast because I'm kind of recording it twice because I'm testing out this new microphone. So the sound quality is probably going to be good, probably going to be bad, depending on if I get to it or not. But right after I hit stop record on last week's podcast and I uploaded it, it was late September 10th. Today is probably the 15th or 16th, one of those days. It's like almost a week after the fact. I found out that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. That was like, it blew my mind. Like, my first reaction when I saw it was like, God damn, we lost another one. I don't know what I mean by that, because I identify as conservative for the most part, but I don't vote. I don't really care for Trump. I used to like him, but you know, they're all puppets. They're all part of the game, and like, my next thought after like complete devastation, like, oh my God, I can't believe we lost like someone who was fighting for us, I believe. I thought, like, man, he was like, it was deeper than whatever they're gonna let on. Whatever they're gonna let on to be. It was like most likely an inside job, in my opinion. I think it was like, I've been watching so many clips. I went down a few rabbit holes this week. Yeah, because it kind of hurt. I don't even know this guy. He probably doesn't give a shit about me. Most definitely doesn't know me. And I cried. I cried. I cried when Trump got shot last summer. Like I said, I don't really care for the guy. Don't know him. But it's just like the principle of it all. Someone was saying something that you didn't like, that someone didn't like for some reason. At least that's how I viewed it. And they took his life. And it's a damn shame. And yeah, he was very few people who was fighting for, I think, freedom of speech, or standing up for freedom of speech, willing to die for it, obviously. And we need more people like him. And I'm kind of like, really, what really blows my mind is like all the like people, all the kids, they must be. Well, there's young and old. I don't know. I feel like there's something bigger going on here. And it's like, God rest his soul, you know, and bless his whole family. But now we're like more divided, and we're like completely taking our focus off of the bigger picture, which is that we are under some major psychosis, I believe, from our own government. Some, like, to keep us sick, to keep us poor, to keep us just in line. I don't know. There's like bigger things at play right now, and that was like God, you know. On the bright side, he was a follower of Christ. He did have a heavy faith, and it was probably his time to go in the greater scheme of things. But yeah, man, I think bigger things are at play. Ain't no way, no, like, little, they caught the dude, I think his name's Tyler or some shit, I don't even fucking know, some little non-melanated young man from Utah supposedly was the murderer. Perfect shot, Like, come on. Sounds like a setup. Sounds like some bullshit. It's really a damn shame because, quite honestly, I could have saw Charlie Kirk being the next president or vice president or something. I feel like overall, the United States is kind of leaning more on the conservative side, or we're trying to lean more on the conservative side, and we have freedom fighters, I think, like on both sides. Both sides. There's good and bad on both sides. I just think, yeah, the lesser of two evils is still evil. So, yeah, he was just another one who had to be sacrificed. Really, he was another sacrifice. And we don't know him, so I don't know what the hell his real intentions are. Only God knows that. But hopefully, it inspires us, the people, to just extend more compassion and try and understand people who have different views. I don't know, I'm on a soapbox right now, right? It's just it just really threw me for a loop because, yeah, anyone who really knows me, whenever I get into political, like, I loved Charlie Kirk. I loved Charlie Kirk with Candace Owens. I loved them together. I didn't agree with everything they said, but I love that they weren't afraid to go out there and encourage people to have a conversation. Really powerful thing that we're not doing in the real time anymore, and he was doing it with the young kids, and now young kids are like, learning how to like critically think for themselves, and so yeah, it's kind of a damn shame. I think we lost a good one with that one. I do believe it was an act of God that, I'll say it, I've said it before on Van Life Diaries, I do believe it was an act of God that Trump was not murdered, assassinated. It was only an attempt, multiple attempts last year on his life. Come on, you guys. I actually partially don't even really buy the second one, but the first one for sure, I believe like God had something to do with the misfire on that one, because it was not his time to go. He had to basically reveal himself, and yeah, he revealed more of himself. And I know I sound like a conspiracy theorist. I don't give a shit. Maybe it'll turn out to be true one day and I'll be like, I told you so. I think he had something to do with it, with Charlie Kirk's death. I think him and the Jewish community, please cancel me. Sorry if I offended you. Not really sorry, but these are just my thoughts, my beliefs. I think something surrounding the Jewish community and Mr. President Donald Trump. Maybe a little bit of Epstein shit. Like, I don't follow politics like that, so I could sound totally ignorant right now, but this is just me spitballing. And also based off of just a lot of rabbit holing that I've been doing this past week. It's really sad. I've been watching, I always watch Candace, but I've been watching sort of her unravel, Candace Owens sort of unravel on Instagram and YouTube and social media. And my heart really goes out to her. And I fear that, like, maybe people will come after her. Or maybe if people don't eventually come after her for being the truth, if truth is always like that light and, will always blind out the darkness, and Candace Owens represents truth, then, they may come for her. But there's another side of me that believes that maybe they already came and she's already kind of crossed over, and now we can't really even trust her. We really shouldn't even really be trusting these politicians or political commenters. We should be trusting God and ourselves, but whatever. It's really sad for everybody, I think. But it's also inspiring in a way, because I think we're all, I don't know, he was very, Oh crap, now I'm brain farting right now. I think we're all devastated, but we're also inspired to move forward in this great nation. Really fucked up shit. I was really like upset to see people's comments on about it, like he deserved to die and shit. Like regardless if this was an inside job or not, like that's a human life, okay? And if what he was saying was actually evil, soaked in racism and hatred and all this, you know, these things that people say, I didn't see it that way, but some people see it that way, you know, then he had to pay for his karma. But at the end of the day, it's still a human life, and it's kind of a shame. His blood is on someone's hands, and I don't believe it's that little boy's. If I could be honest, I don't believe Tyler, your boy Tyler, did any kind of creating with that plan of assassination. I think he's just gonna make another sacrifice. When you have to sacrifice someone like, you know, a president or a political commenter, then there's always a little guy that has to pay. So that's crazy. Yeah, that shot was really, it's really sad that I was even able to watch it. I think it was like, what kind of times do we live in right now that I'm able to just pull up a public execution on the internet within moments? It was really sad to see, like, it was sad to see. That shouldn't be available. Anybody could Google that shit. This wasn't something that was done by Tyler, okay? This was like some kind of political agenda, some psychological operation that keeps us in some kind of programming or some kind of psychosis, something where we're divided, we're fighting, we're not talking to each other, we're not having conversations anymore. Who's the next motherfucker who's going to go around campuses and talk to the kids like he did without risking their life? Or who isn't afraid to risk their life, who hasn't gotten much to lose? The man had a whole ass family, and he still put his life on the line every fucking day. People like that are rare. So yeah, this was all part of the fucking show, all part of the game. And we're part of it by participating in this judging and just dismissing and not even trying to understand the other side. I'm totally on the soapbox right now. Should we move on to something else? Should we? How long have I been going on? 22 minutes? Kind of. Not really sure where I want to go. I'm really liking this microphone on here. I'm pretty sure that I'm really going to try to get the good microphone sound on here. Or maybe I'll do a half and half, or I'll do half of the podcast with the phone version, and then so you can just see if there's a difference. Maybe I'm tripping. It sounds like there's a difference to me from where I'm sitting. Or maybe I'm just too lazy. Maybe, I don't know. I'll get to it or I won't. Maybe I should get some water. Hold on. Love it. Love this microphone. Okay, let me get into the rest of this. I know my last couple podcasts have kind of been boring because all I've been doing has just been like reporting my TikTok posts. So I'm gonna self-correct that because I don't really want the show to sort of be like that. I'd like it to be a nice, healthy mix of like just shit. I don't want you guys to just look forward to shit that you've already seen online. Like, that's kind of hokey, I think. But I'm also kind of high. Got my Benjamin Franklin. I believe today's the 17th, or today's the 16th, and it's for the 17th. It's Tuesday. It's like 5:30 at night. Like I said, I'm in the middle of the desert, chilling. I went and got an oil change today. Okay, let's talk about my day. that was the beginning of the week, was the Charlie Kirk, rest his soul. But today I went and got an oil. I didn't get an oil change today. I think that was probably part of my last week's podcast. I think I've been talking about my ESC light coming on. Here's some boring car stuff going on with my car. I can even do like the long story short version, but I'll do like a little quick build up. Okay. So I believe last Monday, before the last podcast, so I believe I talked about this already. I went and got an oil change, and my ESC light was coming on. Apparently that's like something, it said ESC hill service, hill holder service. It's a hill holder service, something with the traction or something like that. And it's been coming on every time I turn on my car, and I'll go like up a hill or down a hill or hit a certain corner or turn or something. The ESC light will flash and it'll beep, and it gives me kind of like PTSD because I've driven before where like lights will just start flashing on and off, and then my car just dies while I'm driving it. So I always kind of drive cautious anyway. So when I get flashing lights, I just drive even more cautious, and I'm like freaking out the whole way. And that was like last week. So I set up an appointment for this week. I believe it was on Monday. Yeah, it had to have been on Monday because today's Tuesday. It was yesterday. I set up an appointment for last week to check out what the hell that meant. But on my way there, like my tire pressure light came on out of nowhere. It wasn't the ESC light anymore. It was my tire pressure light. And I was like, what the hell is this about? So I got there. They filled up my tire pressure. They said, and they did like the scan. And then my check engine light comes on. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, so like all these lights are just like coming on, and I don't know what the hell's going on. He's like, you probably need an alignment. You probably need a new alternator. You probably need this. You probably need that. And I was like, all right, let me actually set up an appointment for, let's just say, an alignment and see if that'll get me somewhere. He said, your tire's kind of balding. And I noticed that my tire was kind of balding on like that middle thread line. I haven't changed my tire since I've been in this car. I've been in this car for like a year and a half, maybe. Drove it across the country so far 4 different times. So yeah, it's probably time to get a tire. So I set up the appointment for the next day, today, at, I'm going to give them a shout out too. I don't normally do it, but Big O Tires. Shout out to the Big O Tires out in Cottonwood, Arizona. They really took care of me. And basically they said that my thread was bad, so I didn't really need an alignment. I just needed to change my tire. And they didn't have a tire for my big ass van, so they used my spare tire. So right now it's my spare tire. I'm riding on my spare tire, which is way better, he said, way better than the tire that was on there, that he took off. And it didn't cost me anything. He didn't charge me to remove my spare tire and to put on my spare tire. So shout out to the Big O Tires out in Cottonwood, Arizona. But yeah, now I gotta fucking get a new tire. And he also said something about oh my God, here I took notes. Okay, it says the ESC light. So losing power. I'm losing power to control the module, or losing power to the control module. That's what he said. My front tire needed replacing. I found tools for switching out the spare tire. Oh, that's right. I believe I made a podcast last time when my the pin that's in the tire. I got a flat tire on the way to Colorado, and I stopped at an Express Tires, and they fixed it there, but before I got to Express Tires, I thought I just needed to change my flat tire, and I didn't have any tools, or I realized that I didn't have any tools. Well, it turns out I do have the tools. You know, I have a jack. I have a whole ass jack. I didn't even realize it was just underneath my passenger seat. I have a whole ass jack and like a tools to like remove my spare tire that was underneath my car. And the guys over at Big O Tires today, they were like, I told them, I'm like, I don't think I have any tools. I looked before once other time when I tried to get the tire down. He's like, we've got tools. And then he went and double checked and he was like, oh, we actually normally do have the tools, but we do not have the tools for your big ass van. That is what I'm learning, or I'm remembering. It's just going to be like a nice little common problem that I'll probably have to run into a lot. I'll have to go to these specialty dealerships to get special work done because my van is just a big ass fucking van. Despite the fact that everyone lives in their van out here. It's so weird. Like, I'm literally staring at an RV, a camper, like right across the way with their American flag all pimped out on the side. But it's like, yeah, that's going to be a pain in the ass. And this car is only like 20 years old. Only 20 years old. Or 10 years old. Only 10 years old. 2014. So, yeah, they found the tools. I thought that was good news. They found the jack and like the little, you know, the rod thingy that you remove the tire with. And yeah, the closest Chrysler dealer for like my van is like 59 miles away in Flagstaff. If y'all are familiar, I'm in the Sedona area, so Flagstaff is like 60 miles. So I'm driving on this spare tire. He said I'll be good, but you know, I'm just cautious. So far, no lights have come on, you know, since then. But I looked up, you know, something when he was telling me about like, how I'm losing power to the control module. He's like, that's something that's, you know, that's out of our power. We don't have any idea how to fix that. I looked up and maybe it's like a fuse issue is what I'm probably learning, which is common with van life. Electrical issue, a relay, or, you know, your alternator. It's probably your alternator. Maybe it's time for a battery too. I don't know. But I was dealing with all that like this morning. I did the big girl thing and ended up not spending a dime at the auto shop today. Just basically I'm down a spare tire. So yeah, because like I remember saying this last week, these auto shops, they try and just get over on you because they don't think that you know things, or maybe I was projecting. And in Big O Tires case today, yeah, I felt like they were genuine and like they didn't charge me for anything, you know. And I appreciate that for any diagnosis or for changing the tire. Had me right out in the jiff. Okay, so what else? There was another shooting that happened actually that I didn't get a chance to look up. Maybe I'll just look that up right now. Because it happened in basically my second hometown, Colorado. Not that I ever grew up or lived in Evergreen, Colorado, but I did live in Bailey, Colorado for a few years while I was married and engaged. And, you know, that Evergreen is pretty close to Bailey, and a lot of people I know are close to Bailey, so, or close to Evergreen. So let me look up at this. I'm pretty sure I didn't look it up. It says, because it happened like, or I heard about it, it probably happened like the day before or the day of Charlie Kirk, because Charlie Kirk happened on September 10th. Stay fucking woke. Assassinate a political fucking commentator on September 10th. Come the fuck on. Yeah. Anyway, and everyone's eating it all up. Everyone's just eating it up, man. Maybe I'm ignorant. Maybe I'm eating it up. Maybe they want me to just talk about it. I'm talking about it. Kind of fucked up. And they're literally playing with us right in front of our faces. It seems like. It's like ha ha ha. Should we tell them? Head ass. Okay, right here it says FBI investigated social media account tied to Evergreen High School shooter. What is this about? Evergreen High School shooter hinted at his plans online. I don't, can I get any information about the shooter? I guess it happened on the same day. Shooter fired 20 rounds at Evergreen High School within 9 minutes, Colorado Sheriff's Office says. Okay, it's just really fucking turbulent times right here and right now. I am not anyone that is on really either side of the Second Amendment, really, but what the fuck is going on? People are losing their lives every day doing basic things like going to school or going to college. Like, I don't know. I don't know what we should do. I don't think taking away the guns would be the answer, personally. I've never shot a gun. Don't ever plan to, really. I do feel safer when someone who is, like, trained and, well versed, knows how to handle a gun. I do feel safer with someone with a gun around. I just wouldn't do it myself. I'm gonna go on a little sidetrack here, bro. I went to, because that just reminded me, I went to this little head shop over in Sedona, Arizona. Anybody that knows Sedona, Arizona knows it's like a bougie little town. I went into this little head shop that's right next to this little wine shop that I've been to before, but today I wanted, what the fuck did I want? I think I went in there for a vape. I think I went in there for this vape. Perhaps. But, oh my God. And I know I made a recording about this, a private recording, but I'm going to make a more PG recording for this podcast because I think it was entertaining when I listened to it back. Man, I saw this gorgeous man. I'm most likely certain he's a man because he's working at a head shop and he was carrying a fucking gun on his waist. He was so gorgeous. He was like 6 feet, like 7. I don't know. He was stacked. He was so fucking tall. I was like looking up at him like a tree. He was like non-melanated, like a pale fucking tree, but he had so many, his muscles were like, was like bulging out of his fucking t-shirt. Like his neck had muscles, bro. And I'm not into like, bunch of muscles, but he was fucking like, he was buff. He had like a fucking tight ass fucking shirt on, or maybe his shirt was big, but his muscles were just bulging out of him. I don't know. Stacked, so fucking tall, and he had a baseball cap on. Hardly remember what his eyes looked like. He did not smile. He had a serious composure. He had a very like, I don't know, like just in his presence, I felt like safe. I joked and I was like, oh, so do you just carry that gun around for the fun of it? And he was like, no ma'am, I carry this gun for my protection of myself and for others. And I was just like, well, all right then, sir. Just kind of hoping something just popped off right there so you can protect me. Yes, sir, I feel safe. I felt safe. There's something to say about a man who's like, he was masculine as fuck. Good Lord. Beautiful fucking man. Oh my God. That happened like a few days ago because I can't stop thinking about him. Every time I pass that head shop, it's right by my job. And I'm like, ooh, I make sure next time I go in there that, I behave correct. Actually, now that I think about it, it was the exact same fucking day that Charlie Kirk died. It was Wednesday, exactly, because I went there after work, and I found out right after work, and that was a Wednesday fucking night. And I was like, God damn. And I remember thinking back, I wonder if he was carrying that gun, because I had never seen a guy carry a gun in the head shop. Maybe he was a cop, but he was in street clothes, like sexy street clothes. Like, respectfully, sir, please protect us all. But yeah, it happened the exact same day as Charlie Kirk. Wow, now that I think about that. I was like, I wonder if he had the gun in there because maybe there was a heightened, alert or security because of that. Utah's just right there. We're in North Arizona right now. And not to mention the funeral, or the ceremony of him, of Charlie Kirk, is being held in none other than the Cardinal Stadium in Phoenix, Arizona. You remember last time I've actually, it's so crazy how I think sometimes, like, maybe I feel like I'm living in like some kind of storybook. Like this is just some kind of movie being played out and they're just kind of fucking with us and we're all just like, just riding along and not really paying attention to these little details. But I remember the last time there was a Super Bowl that I paid attention to was in the Cardinal Stadium in motherfucking Arizona in Phoenix. And I believe that was the one where Rihanna was pregnant again. I believe that it was that one. One of the recent ones within the last like 3 or 4 Super Bowls. One of them was held in Arizona, and I was here during that time. I'm usually in or around the state where these mass rituals are taking place. And here's Charlie Kirk right fucking there, not to mention the Evergreen shooting that happened diagonal from where I am right now, like literally down the street from where I used to stay, relatively. And yeah, I can't help but think there's like, what the fuck? I gotta keep my eyes alert. I gotta keep my third eyes, all my eyes open. You know what I'm saying? Man, it's crazy out here. My heart goes out to the families, all the families of the victims, these innocent people, all these innocent blood on these people's hands. It's sick. It's sick. What, have I been rambling for long enough? I mean, okay, so, yeah. I think maybe everyone just needs a little Jesus in their life. Maybe that's it. Maybe everyone just needs just a little bit of Jesus. Is this going to be a bummer show? I have here in my notes that some other lady was stabbed on the train. This just happened within the last 7 days. A lot of murdering here in America. What the fuck? I got my nieces in Chicago right now. One's 6 and one's 13 years old. Out here yeeting and dead-assing. And I fear for her life. I hate to put that out there like that, but I fear for all the children's lives. A child shouldn't be afraid to go to school. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be that deep, bro. And the people at the top know that you're kind of pulling on our heartstrings when you go after the fucking children, and that's why there's so many school shootings going on. And to the point where we're becoming desensitized from it, where it's like, oh, another school shooting? Oh, another school shooting. And the only thing we're worried about is, oh, let's hope they're not a Democrat, or let's hope they're not a Republican. Let's hope they're not black. Let's hope they're not trans. It's like, hello, children are dying. Israel, Palestine. Children are dying all over the fucking world. But a lot of them are dying here in America in these fucking school shootings. And I think it's all by design. It's like, who knows of all the other school shootings that are happening? How many other bloods that are on the hands that they're not reporting, that we don't hear about? Am I being too much? Am I being too much? Something about this microphone is making me feel a little bit more, I don't know. I like it. But, yeah, man. I pray for everyone. I pray for the whole family. I pray for the lady on the train that was stabbed for some fucking reason. I don't fucking know. These are just all the stories that people are reporting on and that's trending, okay? What about the stories that are not trending? I'm praying for all those people too. Okay. What else happened this week? I went out with a couple friends on a lighter note. Went out with a couple friends this week. Well, I want to give another shout out to, do I want to say this woman's name? Okay, I'm not sure I want to reveal this woman's name, but I'm pretty sure maybe in the near future she'll be a guest on the show, or at least I'm hoping. I kind of have a little girl crush. I'm just going to say I have a little girl crush on this wonderful woman, human being. Do I want to ride this girl's nuts right now for 5 minutes? Wow. Because I kind of have a little girl crush on this lady I met at a bar. It's crazy how you meet people at the bar. So here's my thing with the bar. Okay, I get a free drink every time I go to work, okay? So fucking sue me. So I'm going to have a free drink. And I try and get more bang for my buck. It lets me linger around there longer. I get my free meal. And sometimes people talk to me. And so, yeah. This girl is about to be 30. And she just gets it. I'm not about to ride this girl's nuts, okay? She just gets it in a way where I'm just like, where have you been all my life? Where have you been hiding? It's rare that I come across people like her. I think her life path number is 4, if any of you guys believe in that stuff. She knows her, like, charts. She knows her full chart, like, in different, like, I guess, paths. Like, different faiths have different astrology charts based on, like, the actual, on astronomy. She says her astrology is based on astronomy. She's, like, on a new hippy dippy woo woo type level shit, but I think she's probably one of the good ones. I think she's one of the warriors, people that we need. I need to have her on this show. I'm not going to talk about too much of her because I'm not going to hype her up. She inspires me. She inspired me with our conversation. I sat at the bar with this girl, and it's crazy how I'm not really a social person, but you get a couple of drinks. The bar is like one of those places where, like, an introverted person can come and just be extroverted or be themselves, and there's no judgment, and like no one really gives a shit because everyone else is drunk too. We're all kind of just here trying to, you know, drink our pain away or whatever the fucking case. But whenever I get into a good conversation like that at a bar, at a good conversation like that, most likely alcohol was involved. Let's just keep it that way. Even with Rochelle. Shout out to my friend, my homegirl Rochelle in Guyana. Love that woman. Love Rochelle. But I'm not going to lie, most of our best conversations, if not all of them, alcohol was involved. We may not have been at a bar, but alcohol was involved. And something about that just brings people together. I don't know. There's a reason why most civilizations throughout all of history in ancient times, they've always found a way to fucking make beer. You ever think about that? We've always found a way to make beer. All civilizations, all throughout time, or wine, right? Ceremonial purposes and whatnot. I think that's my podcast for the week. I think that's really all I gotta say. Oh yeah, so I went out. I met her actually yesterday. I'm not gonna say her name. I hope she comes on the show. Putting good jujus out there. I'm kind of trying to get other people on the show now that I have a microphone. I got 2 microphones now. Should I do a little free advertising for this? I'm not getting paid for this. I'm just going to advertise it. It is I'm saying it wrong. 𝘲𝗏𝙗 cardioid dynamic USB/XLR microphone HD 300 series. Professional audio innovation. And I believe it was like 2.0 or something like that. I got 2 of these. This is the second one that I'm holding in my hand. It has all kinds of neat stuff. Of course, it was made in China. But yeah, got it from Amazon. I'm really excited about it. I'm gonna get into more music as well. If I upload the phone version, y'all are not hearing an audio difference. But yeah, I'm really excited about these next few chapters here coming up over hibernation season. Yeah, I'm gonna get some more music recording because I got a nice little microphone. Makes me feel all, you know. I think that's all I wanted to talk about this week. Please follow me on Spotify if you're not already following me here on Spotify. I'm going to upload this also on YouTube. It's Chandie Speaks, Chandie Speaks Life, Chandie Speaks. I'm also on TikTok. Should I read a couple TikTok posts? I don't really have any that I kept in mind. I know I made a couple of triggering posts. Apparently people are just kind of learning that I'm like the rage bait person, which I actually had to Google what that is. And yeah, if y'all want to call it rage bait, fine. I call it inspiring you to think differently. So, yeah, it just so happens to get me just a little bit more recognition every time because of the engagement and such and such. But, yeah, it's fun to do. It's fun to watch. It's mostly for human behavior. I'm not getting paid for any of this. I'm literally just doing this because no one told me to get a nice microphone and record my music and record my podcast this way. I'm just doing it because it's what I want to do. It's fun. It's fun. I don't want to scream into the microphone, but yeah. Gotta adjust these levels too. See how it sounds afterward. Sounds pretty nice from this end. I think that's it. Yeah, follow me on Spotify, Chandie Speaks, Instagram, Chandie Speaks, Threads, Facebook, TikTok, Chandie Speaks. Is that all I want to get into? That's all the notes I took. I thought I would be talking a little bit longer about a few of these other topics, but I guess that was it. Oh, I went out with a friend. That's right. I went out with a different friend this past week. I'll just wrap it up with this, I guess. Oh, do I want to? Okay, this is probably a good topic of discussion because these past few podcasts I have been talking about like just men and women, the dynamics and the differences between the two. And one of the topics that I've brought up numerous times on this podcast and on Van Life Diaries on YouTube is whether or not men and women can be friends. And for anyone who's been following along so far, you probably already know where this is going. Well, yes, your girl went out with another guy friend. I also want to double back, you know what? Because I'm really good at calling myself out on my own bullshit. I'm going to call myself out on some of my own bullshit before I continue because I keep it real and I don't give a fuck. I believe I wrote it down for the podcast for last week and I didn't bring it up because I was just in a different headspace. But so everyone knows that I don't believe in friends with benefits. I don't believe that you shouldn't have sex with your friends. If you have sex with your friends, then they're not your friends. They're benefits. Either are your friends or they're getting the benefits, right? So I remember ranting about this guy who I recently slept in the same bed with, quote unquote, and did not have sex with him. We did not have sex. We actually absolutely did not have sex. We did other sexual things, I'm not going to lie, but we slept in the same bed together and, for the most part, cuddled and just, a lot of heavy petting. Let's say that, right? No sex. But I made a note last week saying, how do I say that I don't believe in friends with benefits, but I proceed to sleep in the same bed with a man who hasn't made any kind of commitment to me? I'm part of the problem, a walking contradiction. And yep, I'm calling myself out. Just in case anyone gives a shit, I give a shit. Because I noticed that about myself. It's like, I say that I don't believe in friends with benefits, so I know that either I knew that I was going to have sexual relations with the guy, or that I was just setting myself up for failure, essentially, because we didn't discuss anything beforehand. I think in that one episode I was bitching about him just being a recovering fuckboy, maybe. I don't know what the hell I was ranting about, but I do remember saying that I'm not talking to that guy anymore because, oh yeah, we didn't make out. I said I was like upset that we didn't make out while we were cuddling with each other and heavy petting. And like, why should I? And I thought back like later, like, why should I be upset about that when we haven't even established anything beforehand? So women make this mistake, and I am guilty. I am woman. Hi, woman. I make this mistake often of giving the benefits before having the conversation about our intentions about the whole thing. And so you know, there's a natural order to things when it comes to like dating and courting, and a lot of women, most of the times, you know, me included, have missed the mark by doing things like jumping into bed with them and then getting mad, jumping into bed with them before deciding or having a conversation about your intentions towards each other, and then getting mad about them for failing to meet those expectations that you never talked about. You know, like, oh, I expected him to make out with me. Well, why would you expect that? Just because he's sleeping with you? So that was me being a big contradiction on my part. I either knew that I wanted to have just purely sexual relationship with this man, even if it wasn't actual sex, quote, or I wanted to put myself in this delusional little space again, like I have before, which I did, and I'm guilty of. Long story short, we're still not talking, but I definitely checked myself with that. Now, going to this past week, I hit up a friend who I used to work with at a restaurant out here in Cottonwood, Arizona. Let's just keep it vague like that. Okay, neither of us work there anymore. We used to work there for years. In fact, we started at the same time. Well, we went out this weekend, and believe it or not, I felt like we had a purely platonic, friendly night out with drinks. And that's just it. That's just me reporting that I'm making some progress here, trying to separate the friends from the benefits, you know. I believe in the most respectful way. I believe he is an actual safe man, safe person. I feel safe. I know guys don't really like hearing that. I do feel safe within his masculine self. For now, we all know how it is. But yeah, that happened, and that was actually really fun. He's really into music, really into. He's a father, you know, really into taking care of his kids. I'm not going to speak too much about him, but yeah, I'm just kind of putting that out there that here I am again, attempting to have a platonic friendship with a man, a masculine person. Okay, so this is where, should I even go into this? Because it's like, no, I don't want to have sexual relations with him or any person at this time in my life. But yeah, I don't know. I still got some trauma to work through, I guess, because I don't know how to separate it. I don't know. I'm like, how do you have friendships with guys? How do you have friendships with men who you are attracted to? You may be attracted to in a physical way, spiritual way. I think I'm more attracted to him spiritually. He's a legitimate friend. I think so. I always say he's a legitimate friend right before I jump into a friendly cuddle session with him. So there's that. I don't know. I'll report back on that in a few weeks. You guys will hear about it. I'm going to wrap it up, though, here. I think that was good. I was a little vulnerable with you guys. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for stopping by. If you're hearing this from this nice microphone, let me know how it sounds. Let me know how it sounds. It's Chandie, your girl, coming back with another podcast. It's funny. I'm goofy. All right. I'll see you guys next week.